When a Western bank or conventional bank invests in a project, the investor, which is the bank, is assured of a predetermined rate of interest and the investee bears all the risk. The investor receives a predetermined return regardless of whether the project succeeds or fails. This doesn't apply in Islamic banking. Islamic banking promotes risk sharing between an investor and an investee. The non-balanced distribution of risk that occurs in Western or conventional banking is prohibited. In Islamic banking, the investor and investee share the results of the project in an equitable way. Hello and welcome to Islamic Finance Weekly. I am Rahma Say Muhammad. Let us recap some key developments and stories for May 2025. But before then, happy Children's Day in our ears. I hope you've got some investment or savings plans for your kids. I mean, saving today is saving for the future. We commence with the story that the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wali Edun, today received a high-level delegation from the Islamic Corporation for the Insurance of Investments and Exports Credits, ICIEC, led by Mr. Hassan Idris, Director of Legal Affairs. As part of efforts to deepen financial collaboration and accelerate delivery of priority infrastructure across Nigeria, at the meeting, ICIEC reaffirmed its commitment to supporting Nigeria's economic agenda by de-risking major infrastructure investments and unlocking financing for private sector-led development. Mr. Idris highlighted ICIEC's readiness to provide credit and political risk guarantees that can catalyze both domestic and international capital flows into projects that drive growth and job creation. In welcoming the delegation, the Coordinating Minister of the Economy emphasized the importance of leveraging risk mitigation tools to crowd in private investment, particularly in sectors such as energy, transportation, and housing. We appreciate ICIEC's continued support for initiatives that directly improve productivity and livelihoods, the minister stated. By backing commercially viable, socially impactful infrastructure, ICIEC is helping Nigeria build a more inclusive economy, one where the private sector is empowered to create jobs and drive innovation. The Alternative Bank has signed a $15 million Murabaha financing deal with the Islamic Trade Finance Corporation. The deal was signed with Sterling Bank Limited and the Alternative Bank as the executing agency at the annual meetings of the Islamic Development Bank Group in Algiers, Algeria. In a statement, the Alternative Bank Group executive, Dr. Jeku Ozuemene, said this is more than a financing deal. It is a statement of confidence in Nigeria's growing non-interest financial ecosystem. According to him, with this partnership, we are unlocking vital funding that empowers our partners and reinforces our role as catalysts for ethical and inclusive financial solutions nationwide. As Nigeria seeks to expand its road infrastructure, it requires financial engineering. The Debt Management Office hosted investors and other stakeholders to the launch of the federal government 300 billion naira Sukuk issuance targeted at deepening the road infrastructure network in the country. The Director General of the DMO, Ms. Pat Oniha, in her remarks stated that the public has felt the impact of the Sukuk Finance Road project, and this has also translated to the development of Nigeria's domestic capital market. She assured stakeholders that Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio of 53.72% was still within the threshold. Still, she emphasized the need for GDP growth and an increase in the country's revenue base to support macroeconomic stability. In a presentation, the DMO revealed that since 2017, about 1.093 trillion naira has been raised through Sukuk issuances for over 4,000 kilometers road project in Nigeria. This has positioned Nigeria as a global reference point for Sukuk. Mr. Attahiru Muhammad Machidu, a director at Burak Capital, one of the financial advisors for the federal government's 300 billion naira Sukuk, informed stakeholders that the FGN Road Sukuk Company 1 will serve as the special purpose vehicle to facilitate the execution of the project. He called for a diversification of future Sukuk issuances that will be targeted to sectors like healthcare, education, and housing, among others. Islamic Finance Weekly will go on a break, and when we return, we'll bring you further updates. Welcome back. Here is the fact book segment. African countries have issued over $5.52 billion in sovereign Sukuk to date, representing just 0.7% of the global Sukuk market, according to a report released by Abbas Sharif, an independent Islamic finance consultant. The report points out that most Sukuk on the African continent are issued in foreign currencies, with rates ranging from around 2% to over 16%. Ijara remains the dominant type of Islamic bond. Now to our next story. The Islamic Development Bank and the Asian Development Bank early this month renewed their development commitment by pledging to dedicate $1 billion each in co-financing of joint corporations in their common member countries through 2030. The new investments aim to enhance the effectiveness, impact, efficiency, and sustainability of their development operations. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed by Ibrahim Al-Shukri, Director of Partnerships, Global Advocacy and Resource Mobilization Department at RSDB, and Shinain Jia, ADB's Director General for Strategy, Policy and Partnerships. The signing ceremony took place in Milan, Italy, on the sidelines of ADB's 58th annual meeting of the Board of Governors. RSDB and ADB common member countries include Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Bangladesh, Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Malaysia, Maldives, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkey, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. Under the MOU, ISDB and ADB will work closely through programmatic co-financing to share ideas, values, and resources to help finance the development of their countries and common membership. We round up the story today with the Islamic Corporation for the Insurance of Investment and Export Credit, a Sharia-based multilateral insurer and member of the Islamic Development Bank Group, closed the ISDB Group annual meetings in Algiers from 19 to 22nd May 2025 on a high note, finalizing 9 agreements and a memorandum of understanding valued at more than $700 million. Concluded under the annual meeting theme, Diversifying Economies, Enriching Lives. The signings reinforce ICIEC's role as a catalyst for trade and investment across its 50 member states. They cover a wide spectrum of strategic sectors, including food security, supply chains, reinsurance, trade finance, energy, transport, infrastructure, and investment promotion, illustrating the breadth of the corporation's mandates to de-risk development projects with Sharia-compliant insurance and reinsurance solutions. And with that, I say, don't forget to keep it updated as on the program. Follow us on all of our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Thank you for watching, and as always, I am Rahma Sayyid Muhammad.